What's up, guys? How are you doing on this beautiful, god damn it, Thursday morning? I hope you guys are having a great Thursday morning this far. Sorry, I am late for today's live stream. I honestly didn't have anything to talk about. I damn near didn't want to come on, but then I actually ate some breakfast and I got some more energy and I was like, nah, I'm gonna come on here. And I finished this book this morning, which I want to talk to you guys about because I think it has a perspective for weed smokers. And I know, or I don't know, the amount of people who watch my channel who are even interested in hearing about books in the slightest. But either way, that's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. TikTok, I guess. Hello, Quan Wavy. What's good? Slow DK, how are you doing? I'm finishing up this J. I'm going to get it lit, and then we will get right into talking about book talk. Oh, please tell me I brought a lighter back here. I have everything in here, but no lighter? Dude, there's no source of fire anywhere close to me. Nope. Guys, it seems I'm never prepared. I'll be right back. Sheesh. Okay, I'm back. Actually, Cannibala sent me this dope ass thing of matches, which I'm going to attempt to use. It has one of the smallest striking surfaces I have ever used, but with great skill, it can be lit. I'm just playing. I actually have this new candle set, pretty much. And like air things to get smoke out of the air for those of you who need to figure out ways of getting smoke out of your room or out of your crib. I'll be doing a review on that very soon. But today, the book I'm talking about is Who's Got Your Back by Keith Ferrazzi. Um, this guy is like a specialist on like relationships and shit like that, and not like Dr. Phil or anything like that, but relationships when it comes to like business relationships and when it comes to just like creating deeper relationships with other people. And so when I was reading this and I go on live stream all the time and I talk to you guys, I realized like how isolated a lot of stoners are, including myself. I live a pretty isolated lifestyle. A lot of that's because I work from home, but then sometimes I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like we can become a friend. Especially if you have a lot of friends that don't do things similar to you, which I feel like a lot of people do, which isn't the best way of going about things. But in reality, a lot of people have friends simply because you've known somebody a long ass time. And when that is the reason somebody's your friend, a lot of times you go apart, you're not doing a lot of the same things. So in this book, it kind of talks about building deeper relationships and methods in which you can do that. And it really talks about it in terms of a business sense or arena, like I was saying. But I think a lot of the messages that it carries can be carried across, and it even can be carried across in like a virtual world, because some of deeper relationships that people are establishing now and people are meeting and stuff like that is through the internet, and a lot of these things can still be applied to the internet. And a lot of people, either by living in remote areas, maybe having a handicap that won't allow them to go out a lot, or by just not having anybody like them in the area in which they live and can't or don't want to move or something like that. The internet really is the only way that people are meeting people that are like them or connecting with people that are like them. And this book comes up with good methods in which people in general. It's definitely not written catered towards weed smokers. I would say that. But it is catered towards people who could feel isolated sometimes. Either feel isolated or feel like there's no support, or that they can't find support, or that they don't have a good like support system and stuff like that. And I feel like that's a lot of people, especially now with, like I'm saying, with us being so virtual and things like that. A lot of people feel like nobody really cares, and nobody may care. But this book talks about that. Nobody may care, but then you have to look within yourself and be like, do you care about anybody else? You know, and if you're not putting in that effort to be the person that you want around you, then we have to look at ourselves and be like, maybe it's me. Or maybe it's something that I'm doing. Maybe I'm not putting forth the right effort. Maybe I'm not doing what I need to do to foster deeper and good relationships, I guess. And with weed being a friend, and a pretty good friend overall, a consistent friend, a kind of expensive one, but a consistent friend, it can get easy to lose some of like that personal connection. And especially also for people who may have a child, for people who may be in a relationship or something like that, but that's like the only relationship that you really have too. Because I find myself a lot in that, like right now out here in Chicago, like people that I actually see. My girlfriend's really one of the only people that I actually see day to day. I mean, obviously, other than the grocery store and stuff, but people that I actually know and talk to and see, because I'm living in a city where I don't know anybody, and it's not the easiest thing, especially when you're not in the bars, and especially when you're in a relationship and not single, to meet people. You know, because when you're single, it's so easy to meet people because you can just meet up with anybody at any time. But when your relationship is a little bit different, so um, this book, I think, can help some of you guys out. And that's all I really wanted to talk about today, was the fact that I can relate to a lot of you guys, one, in that it can be hard in this mainly virtual world, whether you're at work virtually, your friends are virtual, this community that I have with you guys is essentially virtual, but still be able to uh, have decently deep relationships, you know? But with that being said, I hope you guys don't mind me talking about books, because I could, on the bookshelf behind me, really, there's what, 12, 15 videos on the bookshelf behind me of things that I could just talk about, books that I could talk about with you guys and how I think they could help people. And I don't know whether I want to start doing it on the Cannabis Library or on um, my personal channel. But either way, some of these book reviews will be on cannabislibraryus.com. And I'm gonna create a reading list on there actually, because on my Instagram, if anybody follows my personal Instagram, there's a reading list in the highlights to where you can see a lot of my favorite books. And this year in 2022, I'm trying to read 50. I'm trying to read 50. I have finished 4 now, and some of these I started in 2021. I'm not even gonna lie about that, but I'm trying to finish like 50 books this year, and at least get through a good amount. Like if I pick up a book, I'm not gonna force finishing it if it's just a waste of my time. But at the same time, like get through a decent amount and get the gist, get the understanding and meat of 50 books throughout 2022. So starting on my, I guess, continuing fifth and sixth and seventh book, because I have an audio book going right now as well. But getting it from this type of medium is like completely different. There's a different type of silence that comes with the pages, rather than having the distraction of like, even the audio book is a little bit different input medium because it's more like a podcast, you know. So I do encourage books for anybody, but if this isn't your cup of tea, if these aren't the type of episodes you like, feel free to skip to the next one. The last one I made yesterday about stoner games or different strains or whatever. But I am more than happy to come on here and chop it up with you guys about some good books that I've read. And I encourage you guys to talk more in the comments if you want about books that you've read. Absenthos, I can personally tell you I have never read a fiction book. I don't even know if in school I ever read one. Yeah, The Outsiders. The Outsiders in like the seventh grade was probably the last fiction book I've read. Anybody that hands me a fiction book, I can't do it. I've never read one, so I would say everything I read is nonfiction. Hell yeah, I'm 313. I'm in Chicago for the last 5 months. That's the bet, Anna. Well, I'm gonna start posting on my website different books that I've enjoyed, and start posting on my TikTok too. Really, because I have a good following on there, but I'm constantly getting banned for trying to force it like slight weed content on there, and I have it on my Instagram as well. So people are since I talk about books a good amount, like on my Instagram or whatever, people are asking me suggestions. So it's just easier just to make a list because I can't even remember all the ones I like. I can remember pieces that I take from the ones I like, but the titles, the author, all that stuff, not necessarily. This the man, what's good? That's what's up, man. So that's a bet. You did the opposite switch from me. You went from Chicago to Houston. That's what's up. That's a pretty popular move, at least Chicago to Texas. Really all around the country to Texas. People are flocking there. I want to start getting into reading fiction books, but I've just never been able to bring myself to do it. Even in school, when they said, I was like, why am I reading this? Like, if I'm reading something, I like to learn something. And there's a lot you can learn and a lot of you can get from stories in fiction books is the thing. But I couldn't even lie and say I've read one. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, and I've read a good amount of books now, but because I'm trying to read 50 this year, and not a single one of them is going to be a fiction book, unfortunately. I might try to fit one in there, but I don't think I'll be able to get through it. I don't know. It's just not the medium I go to for escape, I guess. That's really what it is, like to escape from reality, which is kind of what reading nonfiction is. That's not the books aren't just the medium I go to, I guess. What's good, Griffin? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning into the live stream. It's dope that you guys have joined me. I did this on my personal channel. I'm on the Grant Patterson channel right now and on the Cannabis Library. So I really am just saying where people would want to hear me talk about it because I don't want to force this information to anybody. But at the same time, I do want to have a playlist or something where I'm talking about books. And I might start doing it using the 9 a.m. live streams like once a week because I need to finish a book like once a week. So like once a week, like I keep saying that I'm high as shit. I'm sorry, but come back and discuss another book with you guys. Somebody watching this later, he just said once a week, like 3 times in a row. I should have played some music in the background this morning, but I've just been having a quiet morning overall. Wasn't watching too much TV. I did watch the second half of the Boba Fett. I did watch second half of Boba Fett. That shit's fire. I don't know if y'all be watching that, but that Book of Boba Fett, and then they brought the Mandalorian back in it. They had to bring the Mandalorian back because it was almost getting too boring just watching Boba Fett do what he does. But the story background's pretty interesting. But it's also interesting how they didn't. I guess if they had named it Mandalorian and started with Boba Fett, like for the first 3 episodes, people have been like, "What the fuck is this?" And they might not have watched. So by surprising us with the Mandalorian, that was a better way of going about it. I don't know if any of y'all watched these Star Wars series that are coming out. That's what's up, Griffin. Wedding cake. I have some white cherry gelato. I got some more of it. It's a nice daytime smoke. It honestly brings on a little bit of anxiety at night, though. I mean, during the day, it brings on like that kind of like energetic antsiness. But at night, I do wish I had a heavier indica to kind of close out the night sometimes. Sometimes I need that extra energy at night too. So maybe it's what's best for me at this time. or maybe just smoke less of it at night is the better option, but who knows? But for anybody who just joined, the book I talked about is Who's Got Your Back by Keith Ferrazzi. You can rewatch it if you kind of want to hear my description, or I will write up a description on CannabisLibraryUS.com. I don't have too much else for you guys today. It's going to be a shorter live stream. I do want to keep coming back and talk to you guys about books because I think they're important. I think they're an important medium to get creativity from, and an important medium for inspiration, and could be for entertainment if people do like reading fiction books as well. So I appreciate it, guys. I will indeed see you guys later. Hope you guys have an amazing Thursday.